Hi guys, so I get a fair amount of comments on my various social medias about like, oh my gosh, how did you draw that? I can only draw a stick figure, or, you know, stuff along those lines. And I don't even think that I'm like the best artist or whatever. I don't consider myself like a great artist, I'm still learning, but it does bother me when people say like, oh my god, you know, I could never draw that. You know, you have so much talent, because no one is born like a great artist. It's a lot of practice and staying up all night drawing, and so I am always a great advocate of showing off my old, you know, terrible drawings, because it's, you know, really nice to see that people were also once at the level you're at. I know when I was starting off as an artist, I liked looking at people's old work because it kind of motivated me, you know, like those draw it again memes, etc. And it made me feel like I could achieve what the artists that I looked up to were achieving. So I'm gonna show my old sketchbooks. This is probably gonna be like an atrociously long video because I have a lot of them. And you could probably put it on like a little bit fast forward, and I'll try to shorten it as much as I can in editing. But, you know, I think it's honestly really hilarious to look at my old art as well because it's so horrible. And I'm just gonna warn you right now, there's a lot of Percy Jackson, like a lot. Like, it's embarrassing how much there is, because that's the reason I started drawing in 7th grade. My friend came over and we were like, let's draw Percy Jackson. And we realized we both sucked butt and decided to learn how to draw. So, you know, that's my artistic journey. Starts out with a lot of really bad Percy Jackson drawings. So, this is my first sketchbook from 7th grade. This one. You can see my nice, you know, handmade cover. So beautiful. It's like covered in glue. So pretty. Look at this, hearts on the inside. Wow. That's real artistic. I guess, you know, actually I'm lying. I was born with artistic talent. If we're being real, this is pretty. This design, wow. So this is my first sketchbook, and the first half of it is pretty horrible because this is before I decided I wanted to start drawing for real. So I was just like trying to fill sketchbook pages basically. You know, you could totally tell, like. So anyways, you could see exactly the day when I was like, let's see, look, what is that? This is like, wow, how beautiful of a, you know, landscape drawing is that? The exact week I wanted to learn how to draw. See, like, filler pages, attempting to draw Percy Jackson. Here we go. So these I drew after school. I was working like a shift at my school bookstore for I guess like school service. That's Jason. Look, I gave him all nicknames. You can tell I was 12. Like, they're stupid nicknames from the books. What does that even say? Oh, fail mail. It looks like it says fat. Yeah, I really like Nico D'Angelo. Oh, sorry if my shadow like gets in the way here. That's clearly not my friend Chantal. It's Grover. We were drawing, it was the worst ever. My friend drew this, I was not. The one who we were drawing Percy Jackson together. There's Nico. This is a joke. Neither one of us liked Naruto. So you can see, like, this was a cutout for a screen print I did. A lot of these drawings are like kind of inside jokes with me and my friends. My friend drew this. She was significantly better artist than I was when we started. These are, we both drew the same picture. This is mine, this is hers. So I guess this was like a big factor in when I started drawing, was that we were drawing together, and it was super fun to like compare our work. And yeah, and the fact that we were drawing Percy Jackson together, like, this is how we became best friends. So this is this was, I want to say, like April or something, or maybe I think it was the end of April. like last week of April, and this is May. So you can see like this still sucks, but like significant change because I was practicing a lot on my own. Like, okay, I realized her head was too big, so I covered it. Like, here's Jason, you know, it's better. Here's Piper. So even then I was already like, wow, look at my old work. I still could not draw curly hair to save my life, but I was trying. Nico looks extremely emo, but you know, we'll get over that. And so that was my last page. Yay, that's quite a hand. So after this was summer, and I was drawing a lot on printer paper. This was my school sketchbook. So you could see some of the beautiful Percy Jackson art I made. This was a comment. Oh, this was the day I decided I wanted to learn how to draw. We were drawing, this is Groovy Zeus, which was like a joke with me and my friend. So this is the exact day we were like, we're gonna learn how to draw. This is, I guess, like a doodle dump of a bunch of Percy Jackson stuff. Percy Jackson. I think I drew this while I was at camp. Okay, look at this anatomy. Who's jealous of my natural art talent that I was born with? Can you see her face? Gorgeous. Wow. Someone I posted like some outline art like this on DeviantArt, and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do that. I was not born to do that. This was for a contest on DeviantArt that I totally did not win. This was that scene in Son of Neptune. So this is right when Son of Neptune came out, because I was in 7th grade, so that's also why I drew that. I drew this, is because I was waiting for Mark of Athena to come out. Here's a beautiful Percy Jackson face. Raina, because Son of Neptune had just come out. This is a really ugly drawing of Piper. Look at these feet. Wow, it's great. Piper again. I think I drew these a few days apart, so like, you know, there's improvement, but like not much. This is Raina. I think this is when I got my Prismacolor pencils, but I was still on, you know, printer paper. Here's Sokka. This is when I was using photo reference finally from the internet, so I drew Sokka. You can see it's significantly better than my other stuff. And here's Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Here's a self-portrait I did that I hung up behind my desk. That was from photo reference as well. Here's some Nickelodeon stuff. These are one of my watchers on DeviantArt's OCs. And this is another self-portrait. So after this I went into 8th grade. Oh wait, also that summer I did this painting of Chihiro. It's really glossy. I think it's acrylic paint. And the best Percy Jackson fan art ever, clearly. This is not Percy Jackson, it's just some random guy. This is, it was meant to be Selena. Oh wait, Selena, not Selena. Selena Beauregard or whatever. This is right when Mark of Athena came out. When, you know, that scene. If you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then it doesn't matter. So then this sketchbook was mostly just like joking around with my friends because I got my own sketchbook, but this is my school one. But you can see I was, I'll show you some stuff. Like 2012. I was attempting to learn, like, I was like, wow, I'm studying anatomy. Well, it's completely wrong, but you know, I tried. Wow, random fun. It's good that I titled this. Learning. See, I was like, wow, I'm gonna learn how to draw so many different stylized eyes. Look, even Gary the Snail is here. This is real art. Korra. Legend of Korra, obviously. My friend drew that. A bride. My aunt was getting married this year. Some like random Percy Jackson doodles that I did in class. It's still not great, but like that Leo is significantly better because at least he has like curly hair. At this point, I was like really into Cloisisx3 on DeviantArt. I don't know how to pronounce that username, but I liked her style so much because it was like a mix of like sort of anime style and like, okay, look, I forgot her eyebrows. Isn't that great? Between like anime-ish stuff and like realistic stuff. See, like photo reference, watercolor bird. Like, look at me trying. Realism. Wow, realistic. Who does that look like? Everyone. That's so good. Me trying out more weird stuff. Anyways, this, I totally copied this off the internet. I did not draw this. So this year I said I was working on a different sketchbook. This is the one. Let me zoom out the camera a little. Okay, so sorry about this like sort of sketchy filming. I'm filming on my phone with the tripod. It's hard to fit everything in. Anyways, so this sketchbook, I obviously wasn't as fast as drawing at drawing as I am now, so it took me probably 2 years to fill. I think it was 2 years because it's like 80 pages, so yeah. So first page I did a Percy Jackson comic, obviously, because you gotta love that. Percy Jackson when you're in the 8th grade. So you can see I'm like trying to branch out a little and draw. Who knows what that is? Oh, look at that hair. Yeah, I was beginning to figure out how to draw hair. It wasn't great, but like, here's Percy Jackson. So keep in mind, this is the end of 2012, and I started drawing in 2012. So like that ugly Percy with like the glitter, you know, and the, ew, that was like halfway through the year, and this is in December. So it's all up to practice. These are horrible and ugly. I mean, this took me, don't get me wrong, this took me like probably 2 hours of sitting there like, oh, let me change this line a little bit. And like nowadays, I wouldn't be happy with that drawing, but back then I was like, wow, artist. I wasn't even double-siding yet because I was so slow at drawing. That's Percy Jackson and Harry Potter. Rain, I think that's supposed to be Raina and Piper, but like that does not look like Raina. Wow. Percy. Fashion. I really knew it was up as a 13-year-old. Oh, this is my Percybeth going into Tartarus, so this must have been right when Mark of Athena came out. Oh yeah, because it was that winter after Mark of Athena came out. These I remember I did in a car. That's such a beautiful, anatomically correct Piper. Look at this hand. I really knew how to draw. Swatches of my brand new art supplies. I watched Hunter x Hunter. More use of my new art supplies. Wow. This is me attempting anatomy once again. It's still not great, and look, wow, what happened to the hands? They're just not there. But, you know, I'm trying stuff out. I think I was watching a YouTube video on anatomy. I think it was Sycra's. Oh, that's when Frozen came out. That's Percy with a blue mechanical pencil. That arm. Whoa, I really did not know how to draw arms, apparently. Anime! A lot of the stuff you can actually see in DeviantArt and like my old sketchbooks, even the stuff, like the really old stuff from 7th grade, because I don't like deleting it because it shows my artistic journey. This is from Vampire Academy, Rose. I was pretty happy with this sketch because I managed to like get the slanted hip, and this is the first time I managed to like do it correctly. You know what I mean, like, so it's not contrapposto, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I think this is from the Selection books by Kier Cass. Oh my god, don't look at that. Oh, same with that. Oh, this is when I got my colored micron pens, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna use these on top of colored pencils and it'd be so colorful. These kinds of art supplies as well were pretty motivating for me because it made drawing really fun. And they weren't particularly expensive either, just You know, this was, I was trying to draw with using like only straight lines for some of this. More micron pen. So this is when my style was sort of coming into play, like this face, you know, these sort of bodies here. I feel like my style still sort of resembles this kind of stuff. Not completely, obviously, because now I actually understand anatomy more, but it was developing. This is probably, I think this was 2014 already, so we've gone through 2013 already. This is, yeah, I want to say, yeah, this is halfway through. This is probably the end of 9th grade. This year in 9th grade, I was the illustrator for my school newspaper, so I was working a lot on those drawings, which like pushed me a lot to work on poses and stuff that I wasn't comfortable with because I just had to draw whatever they told me, which was great. This is run cycles. I started doing animation in 2014. You could see some transformations. Sorry, this is like sideways. I started like, you know, I was sketching a lot digitally at this time. I was really into my tablet, which I got in, I think I got my tablet in the end of 2012. I had like it was a Wacom Intuos, the small one. So my sketchbook I didn't use my sketchbook as much as I do now back then. So this doesn't reflect how much I was drawing. This is some anatomy notes. Obviously I did not, they look wrong even though they're notes. Some design stuff. Character sketches for an animation I was doing. These are my old characters, Blue and Ari. I don't know why I named the boy Blue, but I did. This is, I got a ink brush. It wasn't like the Pentel Pocket brush or anything, but you know, these are from like life, despite how ugly they look. It was just like, I was sitting in a park and I was drawing people. This is the official tester page in this sketchbook, so it's just ugly. My friend drew this, I did not draw that. Shout out to Casey. More notes. More really horrible sketches from life. I got a lot better at these. If you've seen, you'll see in the next sketchbook, I progressively get better because I don't give up. This is, I did an animation. It's like almost, I think it's like 30 or more seconds, honest. It involves a mermaid and this guy. Before Guy Fieri was a real meme, I memed in my animation. This guy was inspired by Guy Fieri. He gets eaten by a siren. These are mermaid sketches. I was practicing gesture. This is like really when I started practicing putting movement into my drawings. I'd always really admired it and I'd always wanted to, but I was really struggling with it until I did these mermaid drawings and I was like, oh, I kind of understand how it happens now. Like, you gotta sketch really quickly and then go in, like, you know, the working from small to big. So I figured this is kind of when I figured out how to do that, where you draw loosely really quickly and then you fill it in with the actual, hopefully anatomically correct stuff. More animation notes. These are watercolor pencils. I was super into those. Watercolor pencil. Oh my god. My friends from camp drew this stuff. I didn't draw any of that. This is on my plane. A plane. You could see the turbulence, and also I did not know how to draw with markers. But also, the turbulence, I'm gonna blame the turbulence for that. This is still on the same flight. This is the same flight. And this is as soon as I got back, I drew Percy. Oh, this is from the lightning thief. Yeah, I don't know if you can even pick up this, if it picks up the pink pencil. This is that DeviantArt drawing that's still the featured drawing on my page of Hazel. It's one of my drawings that's the most popular to this day. So this was the original sketch for it before I scanned it and did it digitally. I also did this one digitally, Skater Annabeth. So you can see, like, I'm actually figuring out how to put motion into my drawings, and before this they were all super stiff. This is the preliminary sketch for a different drawing of Hazel and Nico I have, except this one's like significantly less correct anatomically, and it still isn't correct in the actual thing. This is more watercolor pencil. Yeah, this is the beginning of 10th grade. I remember this is like, I got my art kit at school and I was trying out the pencil that they gave us, the watercolor pencil. Well, I mean, technically we had to buy it, but it was the one we were required to buy. These I did in the first week of school in class. This is not watercolor pencil, it's just watercolor. And then I was like, oh my god, I can do watercolor in my sketchbook? What? It doesn't ruin the paper? I mean, it kind of does a little, but not as much as you'd think. That was my first sketchbook that like a real big sketchbook that's, you know, front to back, solid work. This is number 2. So I started this September of 2014, so it's the beginning of 10th grade. And this sketchbook goes through a lot of phases. My style like changes a lot and then comes back. You'll see. Oh, that was my crazy French teacher. Don't look at that. The beginning of the sketchbook starts out really weird because I was in a kind of weird art jam block. I don't want to say art block because I'm still drawing, but it just wasn't turning out so correct. More Percy Jackson stuff because I just never give it a rest, honestly. Oh yeah, you can see some of my school newspaper drawings in here. You know, this is the kind of stuff I was doing. It was black and white. Yeah. This is Percy on the last day before Blood of Olympus came out, so this is like the last time I was waiting for a Percy Jackson book, so I drew little lightning thief Percy. Percy again. I think I was just really on a Percy Jackson high at this moment because of that. The Blood of Olympus coming out, which sucked butt, and I was disappointed afterwards, but that's Nico. Wait, no, that's Blue. This is revisiting the boy named Blue from my old animation. Here's Annabeth, there's my OC, Ari, who I literally never draw anymore. This is my birthday. Some cards and stuff. So, like, you could see, despite these being completely anatomically incorrect, I was finally getting gesture into my drawings. So I went through a phase here where all my drawings were like kind of, the anatomy was awful. Like you can see her face is literally a circle. But despite that, I was finally getting some of the gesture and motion in my art that I had always wanted. So I was kind of okay with it. And then, yeah, I just kept going with it. And eventually I learned to clean it up. These were just with like a normal pencil, like not mechanical or anything even, just normal pencil. But you can see like my style is way more simplified, like it's a lot more basic shapes, and I think it's to do with the fact that I was animating a little. I don't really animate much anymore, but at this time I was animating some stuff, and it simplified my style a lot. But you can see, I was practicing portraits because I knew my style was getting so simplified, and I was like, girl, like, don't lose your way. You still have to do newspaper and cartoons. You can't completely go into like cartoon land. That was honestly a big motivating factor for keeping my style and trying to not fall into the super animation style, because I knew I had to do my newspaper cartoons. And I guess I'm glad I didn't go all the way into that style, because these days my style is more leans in between cartoony and realism. It's kind of semi-realism, but yeah, this was a joke with my friend, just hugging Shrek. You know, this is stuff in highlighter, more Percy Jackson, obviously. I don't know. I was trying to draw old people, and I was like, oh my god, you guys, I don't know how to draw old people. So I just didn't. Which is great. Obviously, just avoid your problems, Maddie. More notes. You can see more like newspaper drawings. You know, great. Look at me trying to learn how to draw backgrounds. This was a sad attempt. Oh god, the camera's getting pushed backwards. I don't know how to freaking film anything. These aren't even color erase pencils. I mean, I sketch a lot in color erase pencils, but these are just colored pencils, like the normal Crayola ones. I don't really use like expensive stuff ever in my sketchbooks because I mean, sometimes I use like Copics and stuff to color stuff, but generally I just use literally like whatever's available because it's a sketchbook and I'm not super picky with what I draw with. This was originally for a newspaper article and they were like, oh, draw 2 kids in a tree like being cute, and I was like, I'm gonna draw Percy and Annabeth and no one's gonna know because I was a sneaky little 10th grader. Sneaky little, what was I think I was like almost 16, like the nice one, Maddie. This is the day I got my first Copics. I had 5 of them clearly. They were all pastel colors and I was like, wow, look how cool I am. I'm a professional artist. Me with my professional supplies. And you can see I'm still using neon glitter gel pens, so who's really professional? So this was like kind of horrible as a request, and I was like, oh no, my style is horrible right now, it's all disgusting, because my style was still in that like weird transition phase, and so I felt really bad for that person who, it was like a contest prize or something for someone. I felt really bad for them because, you know, my style kind of sucked at that time. This is sketching with pen, with a calligraphy pen as well. This is just pencils, back to the normal stuff, but I was using my Copics. I was figuring stuff out. This is just normal, like, Crayola, you know, but this is Copic. There's really no difference between them because I didn't know how to use my Copics yet. I didn't understand, like, the blending, and this is like for a, yeah, like school stuff. I can't even see any of this. Me attempting to draw action poses. This stuff is just like, honestly, I went through such a weird experimental phase, and like some of it came out kind of cute, like this. I like this drawing even though there's still like sketch lines and everything, but I thought it came out like cute looking. But then there's like this on the next page. It's like demon. Like, what is that? No one knows. So obviously I would post the one that looks cute and not the one who looks like a demon. So you gotta keep in mind when you look at people's art, they're not posting every drawing they do. Not everything they do comes out so gorgeous. So, you know, don't get discouraged when you see great artists. Wow, the same head tilting in 2 different directions. This is prosthetic leg Percy, which was something I was very into. The idea of, this was a really bad art block. This is like probably like a month, and this is like the only drawing I did, and it's also like really horrible and sketchy, and you know, like look at this stuff. This was in the same, this is when I first read Throne of Glass. So I read Throne of Glass, and then I was in this horrible art block, which is why I read Throne of Glass, because I was, you know, not drawing, and then I tried to do drawings of them and just like, what is this? What is that? That's terrifying. This is acrylic paint. I have this drawing up on my DeviantArt. You know, her foot is the wrong size, so. But I was pretty happy with this when I did it, except for that her foot's the wrong size, and I knew her foot was the wrong size as soon as I finished it, but I managed to get some texture and stuff on here, which is nice. It's acrylic paint on Bristol, and I just taped it in. This is more just like pencil and Crayola marker. My friend used to hate it when I would shade stuff in yellow, so I shaded stuff in yellow. You know, because I'm a great person. This, I was like trying to think of like, I was like, why am I so bad at character design? So there's me like, that is a horrible design. I don't know what that is, but you know. This, I was again trying to put more gesture back into my art after that art block, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna play with the shoulders and the slant of the bodies and blah blah blah. And it became super cartoony again, so you know, like, what is that? Her face is like really large for her body. I thought this came out cute though, this little Annabeth, and I was like, wow, that came out cute. I'm gonna draw Percy in the same style. Percy did not come out looking cute, so I just put yellow around her. I'm like, don't look at anything else on this page. That's Ari again, my old OC, who I neglect all the time. Okay, this drawing right here, I discovered action lines in this one drawing right here. This is the drawing that I discovered the action lines. So now you see action line, action line, action line, you know, action line. I was like, wow, I discovered the secret that all the artists know to drawing gestures. Wow, like, I'm a master now. I mean, so now you could see like a line going through. This is the worst drawing ever, but like, I was like, wow, action lines. You know, these are action lines. I was practicing. Those are all Selena Sardothian from Thornglass wearing my clothes. These are more newspaper drawings. I started drawing Photoshop at this time because I think my SAI like crashed, so now these are in Photoshop. This is Dorian, another emo drawing, because spoiler, but like if you've read the book, you know what that is. Okay, these are in like horrible Crayola pencil, and this action lining is disgusting looking. I drew this when I was in New York. It was some girl sitting next to me. These two, like, I still sucked at life drawing at this point, but these are life drawings. But I still sucked at those. So, I mean, because people would like move and I was like, oh no, oh my god. Like figure drawing I wasn't as bad as, but like just sitting outside and drawing people, it was still a struggle for me. This was like one of those tri-colored, you know those color pencils that have like a lot of different colors in them? It was that. I was using them for both of these. And I remember Sarah J. Maas, the author of Thornglass book, reblogged this picture and I was like, oh my god. And I actually like almost started crying because first of all, it's like not a good sketch, but I was just so happy that she like noticed me online. Oh, that was a good day. Watercolor pencil. Her hair looks like a solid block here, you know. I was trying. I didn't quite know how to translate pencil line into you know, shading and stuff. I was not good at that yet. This was another art block. I don't like using the word art block, but I don't know what else to use. But it was just like when my art wasn't turning out great and I was still trying to draw, but it wasn't great. Selena. This is, okay, I started looking up reference pictures online to draw from because I was lacking inspiration, and so I was drawing these and they kind of suck because I was not good at it yet. Then I drew Aylin from Thornglass. That's me. You could see that on DeviantArt still. It's my ID. It's the Meet the Artist thing. I drew it in pencil before putting it online. Before putting it on my tablet. You can see that on my DeviantArt too. It's finished. This is a sketch for... It was a preliminary sketch for this. Oops, can't really see it. Percy Jackson drawing of the underwater kiss. Or I don't know if it's the underwater kiss. Oh yeah, this is also the day the week I got my Copics. I was like, I'm gonna mix all these pastels. I'm gonna learn how to blend. But like the thing is, they're all like the same tone because they're all pastels. So like, you know, I did my best, but you can't. The shading is like kind of sucky. Because there's a lack of value range. This I did. So this is summer 2015. So this is last summer. And if you've seen my most recent sketchbook video, my style has progressed significantly even still since then. This was a character for a different animation I did because I did another animation course last summer. This is my friend drew this. Wow, that action line. Oh wow, look at this. Ribs. Anatomy. At this point I was doing a lot of figure drawing. This particular week I started doing a lot of figure drawing. So yeah, this, I mean, obviously doesn't show, but I was learning anatomy and I was drawing the skeleton, not just the flesh. I was doing specifically like skeleton drawing. These are in pen. There's no pencil sketch underneath, as you can tell by the head that's floating out of her. These are sketches in the park. These are characters for an animation I did. I don't know if I ever posted online, I can't remember. I don't think I did though. So these are people in the park. So this is, I'd say this is like you can see like this is some dog, this is some lady, some other guy. I still wasn't good at people drawing, but I never gave up. So like a lot of these suck. Like what is his face? What is this? Her neck is the size of a tree trunk. But like some of these ended up okay. Like I kind of like how her face came out here. I liked how his hair came out, except he kept looking at me while I was drawing him, and I was like, oh no. I remember that. These are awful looking. These are Throne of Glass characters again. Don't look at that. More newspaper stuff. I still was not good at comics. Percy for his birthday. Yeah, August 18th, 2015. Oh my god, wait, today is August 18th, 2016. That was exactly 1 year ago, and I want to puke looking at it. Exciting. Oh, this one has a funny backstory. It was the day I took my first driving test, and I auto-failed for going too slow. And I was like feeling really emo. So I came home and I drew this. This is great. It's great. I laugh every time I look at it now, because back then I was like, oh, I'm so good. I just failed my driving test for going too slow. It was this Selena and Nehemia wearing my clothes. This is me using photo reference online to try to draw faces. Watercolor. Keep in mind I was doing a lot of finished pieces at this time. Like, this really does not reflect the volume of work that I was producing. These are blind contour as well, so you're supposed to look at a mirror and look at your face in it and draw without looking at the picture, just by looking at the mirror and drawing. So like they look kind of terrifying. Actually I really like how this one came out for blind contour, but like that's terrifying. That's terrifying. You know, I never want to look at that again, to be honest with you. That's Manon. That's my desk chair. I was just trying to fill the last pages of my sketchbook here. Yeah, this is September of 2015. Wow, so this is like basically 1 year ago. Yay. So anyways, I hope that this was, I guess, kind of interesting to look at. Just to see progress, etc. Maybe one day I'll make a video about my old works. A lot of my digital stuff and like my fan art is posted online, but a lot of my works like self-portraits and trying at realism, etc. is not. So maybe one day I'll make a video showing my old finished works and kind of explaining my journey with that stuff as well, if anyone is interested. But I think just this kind of stuff, it's kind of important to see, because when you see big artists online and you think, oh my god, like I'll never be that good, I can only draw a stick figure, you know, then you're never gonna be that good. It's a lot about just going for it and just drawing. Like you saw, my first drawings were terrible, and I could sit and try to replicate one of my favorite artists' drawing, but it would take me like 3 hours, and it was like a sketch that they did in like, 3 minutes. So you just gotta keep going. And I've only been drawing since I was in 7th grade. I'm going into senior year right now, so it's the end of 7th grade, like right before summer started. It was like March or April. I think it was probably April. So I've, been drawing, what is it, like about 4 years. So, it's kind of a long time, but at the same time, it's really not. So it's possible. And I'm a pretty busy person, so I don't even have time to put in a lot of time daily to draw. But if you're the kind of person who doesn't have so many other extracurriculars and other things, you can really like progress much faster than I did. So don't ever feel discouraged if your art isn't looking like people's online or etc. Because if you keep pushing, it'll happen, and you could be better, and your style should be your favorite style. So you'll probably end up creating art that you'll like more than theirs, because you put in all the things that you like into your art. So yeah, I hope this was helpful to someone out there. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.